Okay then, here we go, trying to land the Avenger in cinematic mode once again, and what do you know, touched it down this time. Okay, jolly good, how about that? There we go. Ah, hello everybody, it's Megalithic here, and today we're going to take a look at purchasing the Overflod Entity XXR. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? Now we're over here at my base bank offices, and I shall just head on inside the building, don't you know? Okay, now heading up to the computer where I like to make all my supercar and sports car purchases from, and okay, here we are. I'll just sit myself down, I think, and there we go. Okay, jolly good. Right, now all we need to do is to log on, and okay, now the Overflod Entity XXR can be found under the legendary motorsport website, okay, and there we go. As you can see, it is currently on sale for 1,700,000, and generally speaking, it retails for 2,300,000, but there we go. Okay, now unfortunately this sale was some time ago, so you won't be able to cash in on it, but it does come. Rockstar do put a lot of cars on sale every week, so doubtless it'll come back round if you're waiting for the sale. Okay, now as always, we're going to send it to the Hillcrest residence, and on this occasion, we will be getting there in the Vista GTR. Okay, or the Vista Comet GTR, I should say. Rather splendid car, rather fun to drive, I do say so. Okay, now here we go. We're going to hop on out and we're going to take a walk on down to the Hillcrest residence and see if that Overflod Entity XXR has been delivered, and surely it will have been by now. Okay, just waiting. Okay then, there we go, the Entity, or the Overflod Entity XXR, and as you can see straight off the bat, rather interesting looking car. I believe these cars are based on the Koenigsegg's. I can't be entirely certain on that fact, to be perfectly frank with you, but yes, I do believe it has a similar styling, certainly, doesn't it now? Okay, so what do we think? Well, it looks rather like the Koenigsegg, a little like a crash helmet. I don't know why I think that, but that's what I do think. The way the top perch on there and that sort of visor glass bit, I don't know. Looks that way to me. Okay, well, let's take it out. It's a rather peculiar looking thing, I think. Not entirely hideous, but sort of lacking in a certain stylistic element, I think. Okay, right, here we go then, the Overflod Entity XXR. Let's see how she handles on the street without any upgrades. Okie dokie, got ahead a little bit there, but seems to be handling these Pinewood Hills with great ease, to be honest with you. Okay, coming up to the hill, can we miss that second post? We rarely do. Okie dokie, there we go. Managed to get the right angle on it that time, and we span out of the bottom of the street. Not entirely to be unexpected, to be quite frank. My driving's not the best, particularly not this early on in my gameplay. Okay, so here we go. Now we're heading down the main strip. Okay, if we even do the traffic there, not too shabby really. Let's see how the back end feels. Right, okay, it does come away on you after a amount of time, but you really do have to put some effort in to get that going. So relatively stable in a straight line, I suppose one could say. You can sort of weave between traffic a little bit, not too much, or it starts to come away with you, and there we go. Whoops, the daisy, spinny and all that. Okay, well, like I say, this is rather early on in my gameplay, so unfortunately that standard lap is not yet in effect. Oh, you can see my Avenger on the roof there. Look at that, that's the propeller sticking out of the edge. How about that? Okay, right, let's just take this Overflod inside and take it to the custom auto shop and all that, and we'll do the necessary upgrades. Okay, so here we go. Like I say, the Overflod Entity XXR. We're going to whiz through these upgrades here, give you a chance to see them in case you're interested. We'll be going at double speed, of course, to hurry things along somewhat, and hopefully we won't spend too long in this wretched shop. Okay, so what can we say about the Overflod Entity XXR? To be honest with you, not all that interested in purchasing it, only buying really to add it to my Overflod collection, and because it's on special offer at the moment. Like I say, currently on, well, when this video was made, it was selling for, what was it, 1.7 million, something like that, generally selling for around about 2.3. Rather a lot of money for a car like this, and unfortunately, it's too early on in my gameplay to have my hands on a Zane Torno or be able to test it against anything like that. Maybe I'll put it through its paces later on. Okie dokie, or should I say in a subsequent video. Right, okay, so we're on the hood stylings here, as you can see. So yes, what do I think of it on the street? not really impressed, to be quite frank with you, and certainly not for the money. Would have to put it around the track, like I say, against something like the XA21 or the Dubachi Wagner to really get a good idea of this vehicle. It did seem fast, but not overly fast. It had good handling, but not the best handling on the game. And bear in mind, like I say, $2.3 million for this vehicle. Okie dokie, right then. So what else is there to say? It felt rather heavy, to be perfectly frank with you, when it's accelerating away, taking off there. It doesn't have great acceleration, or at least didn't feel like it had great acceleration. Certainly nothing like the Coil Cyclone, perhaps, or of course the Zentorno cars along those lines do seem to get off the mark rather quickly, don't you know? Okay, so then we're finally onto the colors right here. Okay, with a little bit of luck, that means that we won't be too far from the end of this particular section of the video, and we'll be leaving the custom auto shop quite soon. But as you can see, I am having a rather hard time selecting colors for this vehicle. Not entirely sure what to put it in, to be quite frank with you. Okay, well, how about that? The blue looks quite good now, doesn't it? Yes, blue and green. I do quite like that. Yes, you see, unfortunately, this is sort of rather early on in my gaming career still, and at this stage I am still trying to match up brands of cars in particular color schemes, and I do believe that all my other Overflods, if I have any, I do believe I do, at this stage, are in a sort of bright and vivid hue, so I do believe that unfortunately this car will have to go in very similar styling. How about the crew colors? Okay, that's kind of interesting, I don't know really. Yeah, so like I say, I'm going to have to put this in something rather vivid, I do feel. Perhaps a yellow, there we go, not entirely certain, really. I mean, that's, I believe, what they were advertising it on Legendary Motorsports, wasn't it? So perhaps not, actually, now I think about it. Maybe the orange. Okay, and we'll go for the spoiler. What goes well with that? It's going to have to be a black, maybe, is it? Or just for the plain orange? Rather boring, to be quite frank with you. I may have to change that later. Okay, then here we go. Then we're taking it out onto the street. The Overflod Entity XXR, fully modified. Right, okay, someone's parked. Right, oh, bloody hell. Okay, we'll try and get. Not going to, though, are we? Not a bloody again. Jesus Christ. Okay, that really is a rather irritating start to this particular stage of the video. Okay, so here we go, launching up the hill. What do we think? Honestly, feels rather sluggish for $2.3 million. Okay, spun out of the top of there. Have had much cheaper cars be able to handle it. Of course, like I say, it could always be my driver, and I'm rather appalling driver if it is, to be perfectly frank with you. But yeah, like I say, I'm not entirely certain this car is really worth the money, if I'm honest with you. Like I say, I unfortunately don't get the chance to put it up against any of its counterparts. Whoops, daisies, how about that? Okay, well, I must have been going at some speed then. Maybe this car does go at speed then, but it just feels deceptive, perhaps, because of the traction and whatnot. Okay, like I say, we'll have to do an Overflod video later and put some of all of the Overflods, why not, up against something like the Zentorno, the XA21, the Wagner, something like that. Might be quite interesting, I don't know. But straight out of the box, so to say, without any real comparisons, not particularly impressed with this vehicle. Certainly not for $2.3 million. Would I recommend that you buy it? No, I wouldn't really. Unless you wish to add it to a collection, which is why I've purchased it. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this video.